stuck?
YouTube's not working at the moment. I'm trying to reboot it.
Okay.
I got too many papers here.
The outstanding stuff. I know, I read it. It probably is, and okay, almost 13, right? 12 and a half. Yes.
We're gonna try to reset the computer, see if that helps. YouTube can't find the stream.
Okay.
It-
Sorry.
It is recording though, correct? Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Even though we can't stream, we can record the meeting, and tomorrow we can have IT load that file up, because that's what happened one other time.
Okay.
It is recording.
Can we just wait one more minute?
Sure.
So I can confirm, because I didn't
Yeah,
reset
yeah,
the computer.
sure.
So.
I'm just saying, that's an option.
If we have no other option.
Yeah.
If we can't get the stream going, we can record the meeting, that file can be loaded on YouTube tomorrow.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe we'll get this thing back on order.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm lucky.
I'd like to thank you guys all for showing up at the meeting. It's actually nice to see faces out here again instead of looking at the blank walls. So I appreciate you taking the time to get involved with the meetings here.
I have a favor, but when you're talking, could you please use it, because we can't hear you, and I tried, when you were doing the streaming with YouTube,
Uh-huh,
a lot of times the voices, because you aren't talking into the microphone,
okay.
and, it doesn't come through, you can't hear what's being done on the meeting, so if.
We'll try to speak up. We'll try to,
Please bring the microphone closer to you.
Mike, I think at one time we had a problem with that mic on that stand too.
Pardon?
We had a problem with that one there not working correctly.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, yourselves, you need to be talking into the microphone more, because you can't hear you in the audience, and basically on the YouTube, when you try to stream the minutes of the meeting, you can't hear a lot of what's being discussed and things like that, so.
We probably need a little better system.
Pardon?
We probably need a little better system.
And those of us that gotta use these, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that, but, too many years of, heavy machinery.
uh-huh.
With what?
We're hardwired in. It's,
5B?
okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I don't
There you
know
go.
if it's it. I think it's a recorder. Thank you.
Oh, we have a tech guy here? All right.
I did it, just different names on it, different stations.
And everybody blames everybody else for it not working.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, we were kind of forced into this with the COVID thing, or, you know, but, yeah.
It's saying our encoder is sending data faster than real time. I don't know how to fix that, unfortunately.
How did that happen?
I don't know what that means.
Well, we went fast forward.
So, but we are recording, so everything is recording.
Okay. Well, at this point, we don't have any other choice, but we're gonna go ahead and continue the meeting. I apologize for the technical error. Hopefully, anybody that has an opportunity to review this tomorrow can see that, we're trying to remedy the situation as it stands. That being said, Tony, do you have any other?
I do, Mr. Chairman. Number 2 on the late additions was requesting a motion to release the performance bond for AutoZone at 1245 Old Trail Road. That's the performance bond for $429,379.50. I had attached Bill Rudy's email where Bill and Marcus had gone out, done the final inspection, and he has said it's okay to release the performance bond. We will keep the operation and maintenance bond, correct? So I would need a motion to do that.
Okay. I'd like to make that motion requesting to release the performance bond of $429,379.50.
I'll second that.
Do I have a,
You have a second.
do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Third issue is, I would like to have a motion to reduce Goodman Logistics performance bond to $1,281,524.29, based on the recommendation of the township engineer in a letter dated February 23rd, 2021. I think we missed having that vote in the February meeting. I have attached his memo to that.
Actually, I think it probably wasn't previously part of the agreement.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked in the minutes. I couldn't find it. So
I'll make a motion that we reduce the Goodman Logistics bond to $1,281,524.29.
And do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, I just got a couple other quick, brief additions. I'd like to make sure I mention that Newbury Township Fire Department EMS is having their bingo Friday, May 28th at 5 p.m., and the kitchen opens at 6 p.m. Don't forget the Memorial Day Parade at, it lines up at Parkville Youth and Family Center on 850 Whistler Road in Edders. They line up at 9:30, they step off at 10. They march to the Paddletown Church at 355 Church Road. And also after the parade, you can take a part in the honor ceremonies at the cemetery there. And our own chairman, Mr. Eckert, is the MC for that honors ceremony. I'd also like to, at this time, congratulate Marcus Brandt, Laura Kaufman for successfully completing their training and pass the test for certification for, what's the exact term?
Building codes official.
Building codes official. I'd like to congratulate them. Lastly, Facebook site, I just want to make a mention to go to the Real Newbury Township Facebook site, which is Newbury Township, York County, Pennsylvania. That is the official township Facebook site, and we are continually trying to update and put information out to residents of things that are going on in the area and in the township. So that would be my suggestion of the Facebook site to visit, if you want some information on the township. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Does anyone have any questions of Mr. Miller and his report?
Tony, do we want to discuss with the York County Board of Election about making sure that we're clear about next years for polling?
cycle.
Election cycle?
Yes, sir. I've already got communication from the president of the commissioners, Julie Wheeler, that they are definitely going to take care of that in the next election cycle. I will stay after them, but she did communicate back that she appreciated that we maintained it this election cycle, but they definitely would make sure that's taken care of for next year.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions or comments for Mr. Miller? At this time, the treasurer's report. Okay, I have a notation here. Mr. Miller, do you want to elaborate on that? Ms. Deemer?
Yes, Ms. Deemer was going to just give a brief explanation for the bill payment resolution. Rather than have you come up, I'm going to try and wing it. And just in new business, there is a bill payment resolution 2021-13, and that resolution is needed because typically in the past, bills wouldn't be approved and signed into place until a monthly meeting. But over time, in a new age, a lot of businesses and contractors and everything require payment before a meeting would come up. So this gives the township, the comptroller, and the board of supervisors the ability to cut those checks in between board meetings.
Okay.
And for the recording, Ms. Deemer said that utilities are less forgiving as well, and that's another reason. That was the only addition to her report.
Any questions for our treasurer?
Nope.
At this time, I'd like to move to supervisors' comments. Any comments from the supervisors?
I have one thing that I'd like to bring up. Seems that we bring this up on a regular basis. For the people out there that do the social media thing, my email is listed on our website. Feel free to contact me at any time through that email. If you have questions or comments about what I do as a supervisor, and as far as people's comments about our hiring practices, nobody here has been given a job because of their political affiliations. And if I'm going too fast for people to write it down, Laura applied for her job. She was the best one for that job. That's the reason she was selected. And Marcus was the best one for the job, and that's why he was selected. And Gail was the best one for her job, and that's the reason she was selected. Tony already brought up the fact that Marcus and Laura have both passed their certifications for their codes enforcement job. Laura, since she's been here, has collected $12,500 in overdue trash bills, and we haven't collected trash bills for 5 years. She found stuff hidden in desk drawers. She also bailed us out with a problem that we may have had with DEP by finding pumper reports that, again, were stuffed in a desk drawer somewhere that she found, and took it upon herself to make sure that that was all straightened out and taken care of. Gail was hired also as the sewer administrator and the HR representative. Again, she was hired because of her abilities and her knowledge. And to Gail, I would like to say thank you, because Gail has collected $143,000 in unpaid sewer bills in less than a year that she's been here. She has reached out to numerous townships and other organizations to find out how to do all this, and has done a great job. So if anybody thinks that our employees are not doing their jobs, feel free to contact me, and I'll explain it to you personally. That's all I have to say.
Well, on that, I'd like to add to that. So I actually took the time to write out a statement. Dave, I want to thank you for the comments that you made regarding our office staff. And I'd just like to put it out there. For the past 16 months, the Newberry Township Board of Supervisors and staff have been the target of constant ridicule, slander, unsubstantiated allegations of wrongdoing, corruption, kickbacks, favoritism for friends, and secretive meetings. Here are some of the facts that I'd like to highlight. This board has implemented a service to keep the public informed during the COVID pandemic by streaming the meetings online. We wanted to give the public an opportunity to stay abreast of the issues in the township. We also established a way for the public to comment. And while Mr. Pop and Newberry Breaking News would allege that the comments were filtered by Township Manager Tony Miller, once again, nothing more than biased opinion. Andrew Pop and his social media page, Newberry Township Breaking News, is nothing more than a source of biased, opinionated information. In fact, the only real news this page articles are reposted from other news agencies. This board and the office staff have been subject of allegations of wrongdoing, inappropriate behavior, kickbacks from developers, and secretive meetings. And this page is nothing more than a biased social media page created for the purposes of going after the Newberry Township supervisors and their employees. All I can say is the board has done their best to make sure that we are working in the best interest of the residents of this township. We passed a budget without a tax increase for 2021. We were able to negotiate and ratify a police contract without the expense of going to arbitration. And in an effort to keep the public informed, we've done our best, not without problems, but aired the meetings online for the general public to see during a very difficult time with COVID. All I can say is this board, in my opinion, has done the best job that they could possibly do for the residents of this township. Neither they nor its employees deserve to be lambasted as they have by Andrew Pop and his social media page, Newberry Township Breaking News. It's my opinion that Newberry Township Breaking News is nothing more than fake news and should not be regarded as a source of factual information regarding the township supervisors and the employees. And in closing, I would welcome Mr. Pop if he feels as though this board is acting inappropriately or not in the best interest of this township. Please step forward and run for election. And that's my comment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any other comments that they want to make under the supervisors?
I do, mine's not as nice, but I'm not gonna say it, so.
Are you reserving it, or are you gonna?
I'll reserve it.
Okay. So we're gonna go to old business, and the current issue is the brake retarder signs. Tony, would you please explain that?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We had previously in previous meetings, they had a township resident request brake retarder signs on York Haven Road heading towards the power plant. So I reached out to PennDOT. The board approved a letter to request the signs, sent that to PennDOT. Last month, I got a letter back saying they were doing a traffic study, and just this week, I did receive an email before that saying it was approved, but this week I did receive a letter approving it and the map showing the location and the dimensions and everything for the specifications for the sign. So we are good to go. I have forwarded that to the township engineer and our public works director, so we will be moving forward with those signs.
Very good. I don't believe that needs a motion for any approval.
No, sir.
Red Mill Crossing preliminary land development plan, time extension. Bill, you have?
Yeah, I talked to the engineer, and they are still working on the off-site sewer issues. It sounds like the survey and some wetlands in the off-site area to determine the route of the sewer for time inspection.
Okay. Did we get something from the York County Planning Commission on that? Was there? I did see.
Not recent.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we extend the time for the preliminary land development for the Red Mill crossings.
I'll second that
August
motion.
31st, 2021, sir.
August 31st, 2021.
I'll make that motion, or I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Last order of old business is selection to fill vacancies on zoning hearing board and planning commissions.
I'd like to nominate I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Dave Hines to the Planning Commission.
Was he interviewed?
Did we have an interview process for any of the applicants?
No, we haven't
I
had
think we
interview
should.
processes for years. Well, then we need to do that.
So I'll make a
before the-
motion. I'll make a motion to table it until we have an opportunity to take a look at it and at least go through an interview process.
We have a hearing before the next meeting, correct?
No.
Yes.
I believe that meeting, was that meeting canceled?
No, he just requested a hearing.
Yeah, we have nothing scheduled for.
Nothing scheduled.
No, I'm asking if we have a meeting, we have a hearing before the next supervisors meeting, correct?
June 22nd, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
let's table it at this time until that next meeting.
All right, well, I just don't want to see this fall off the radar like it
Understood.
did before, where it went 8 or 9 months without somebody in those
Yeah, I
positions.
would like to interview people, or at least talk,
Yeah.
some kind of.
So we'll make the motion, I make a motion, we table it until the next meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. New business, alarm system for main sewer plant with man-down safety system, resolution to use ARP funds.
Mr. Chairman, just to briefly, in your packet, you'll see the quote for the electronic systems installers. That's the company that does our alarm system here and at the Shelley Park. And this is the plant only, it's not the offices. This is not only like burglar alarm system, but it has fire protection included, and then we added the man-down wireless emergency buttons for the pits. I'm calling them pits, right? I mean, it's several stories down,
Right.
and they don't have cell coverage in there, and so this would give them a device on them that they could hit the button, it'd send an alarm, and that has actually been on the agenda and discussion with the safety committee several times, that it's very dangerous.
Mr. Miller, so the cost that I'm seeing here is $3,496. That doesn't include the additional features, to add the fire detection and cost to add the man-down fire. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. The total is, I had it here somewhere, 62. Sorry. Hang on one second. $6,282, and the solicitor has indicated that the American Rescue Plan funds could be used for this, since it's a sewer item. And even though we don't have that money yet, if we got approval, by the time we get this installed, we would have the money to pay for the invoice with that.
So this would be an approved covered expenditure under that plan.
I'm gonna let the solicitor.
Yeah, one of the specific categories under the ARP are sewer and water infrastructure projects. It doesn't go into a tremendous amount of detail as to what specific projects. It's a fairly general statement about water
Okay.
and sewer projects. So since this relates in particular to safety functions at the sewer treatment plant, I think that it would be a covered expenditure.
Okay.
So we
I mean,
suggested a resolution to bring it within that scope.
Okay.
Well, can't we just take it out of the sewer account? Why do we have to use those funds for that?
You could.
The board doesn't have to use those funds for it. We feel as though it would be an allowed expenditure of those funds, but if the board decides to use just sewer funds, existing sewer funds for that, the board can do that.
Well, I think we should explore our avenues of financing this project. I absolutely see a need for it, one way or the other.
I'd like to make a motion that we go with the man-down system, the fire protection, and the security system for the outbuildings at the wastewater treatment plant. And I'd also like to see that let's get through that, and then I'll bring the next thing up.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it.
Just to be clear, so we're gonna just use sewer funds,
For
correct?
sewer funds for now.
Okay,
Yes.
thank
And I
you.
don't- At this point, I mean, we're spending this much money for the outbuildings. Does the office and the storage area where we keep our equipment also have the security system and the fire detection system?
They do not, they're not part of this, but I do have a quote for that.
How much is it?
Because I don't have it with me, sir. I broke it out because
Let's
that was.
take a look at it, because like I
Yeah.
said, we want to make an investment in our infrastructure. And
Yeah.
these are genuine needs that I think that we need to take a look at.
I think we should put it in, and then I'd like to make a motion that we also add that to this bid, and then we can look into reimbursing the sewer funds with the money coming from the government.
So add office, Dave, and
Office and, yeah, the building, the other building where we store the trucks and stuff.
okay,
I do have a quote on that.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I agree. I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? And the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to public participation. I'd like to make a motion that we open the meetings to the public. As masks are optional.
No, I think we should follow the CDC guidelines.
I would say we make it mass optional.
Yeah. Which would be mask option.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay. M&T Bank Resolution 2021-11.
Mr. Chairman, that resolution is because we had an issue arise with Traditions Bank that we are using, that they could not cover over $6.5 million in X 72. And so we're required to have our monies covered under Act 72. So we moved to open a general fund account at M&T Bank, where currently we have always just used for the sewer fund. So we would be opening this account for general fund money.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and open that up with M&T Bank.
I'll second that.
That motion is for Resolution 2021-11.
2021-11.
Resolution 20, yes.
All in favor?
No.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. The Pliget American Rescue Plan Fund Account, Resolution 2021-12.
Mr. Chairman, that resolution is for, we currently do banking with Pliget, with municipal funds and reserve accounts, and it's highly recommended that we create a separate account for the ARP funds so that we can keep a good track of where the money is and where it's spent. And one thing that the solicitor, I don't know if he mentioned it, but when we do spend that money, we would use a resolution that he has drafted every time we spend it, so that that resolution tracks what we're
So we
spending
would
the
have
money on.
accounting.
Yes.
Yeah, I will make that motion that we accept the Pliget American Rescue Plan Fund Account, Resolution 2021-12. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Bill Payment Resolution 2021-13.
I don't believe we need any more explanation. We covered that.
Nope, I'll make a motion that we accept that resolution 2021-13. All in favor? Yeah. A second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
No.
All opposed? The ayes have it. DCED Recreation Grant Resolution, Terry Dolan Memorial Park Rehab.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you all have that separate of your packets in front of you. I've had, and I want to thank Township Engineer Bill Rudy and Public Works Director Scott Getkin for working with me over the past month, putting together a submission for a grant. And that's a Greenways, Trails, Recreation and Parks grant submission, and it's pretty extensive, and all the documents are before you. The project is two-phase. This is for Phase 1, and the Phase 1 is rehabilitation for Terry Dolan Memorial Park, otherwise known as Cly Park. And primarily this time for the Phase 1 is the ballpark. The dugouts are falling over. The bleachers are dangerous. There's a drainage issue. The security light on the pole is busted out, and there's the fencing needs to be replaced, and some concrete work and field work, as well as some driveway and some parking area restoration. This money, by the way, just as a note, it has been available since 2013 through the Marcellus Shell Act, where the money comes from the Marcellus Shell Recovery Fund, and it's available every year. This particular grant has a maximum of $250,000, and the township would have to make a 15% match to that. So the match for that would be just over $44,000, and we would receive $250,000 to do basically $300,000 worth of work to rehabilitate that park. And I know there's been a lot of discussion about wanting ballparks and decent recreation for our township, and we have a nice park facility under our nose, but it's just been dilapidated over the years. So tonight, I just need a vote to pass a resolution that you have. That's part of the grant submission, and there isn't a numbered resolution, it's just a resolution that we're looking for, the $250,000 grant.
So this is a resolution to authorize you to submit the grant.
That's correct.
I'll make that motion that
Well, wait a
we,
minute, before we do that, how much is in our rec fund? It's in excess of,
in excess of 300,000.
This
Okay.
is an opportunity for us.
I get it, and
365.
I'm an advocate for this too. I've been.
Yeah, it's over $350,000 in the rec fund.
But the cameras, we talked about, I think we okayed cameras down at Shelley's Park. Do we have those? Installed? Okay, because, I mean, that was last year.
That was 2018.
Yeah.
I can address that, Vice Chair Kaufman, that's a separate issue. As soon as we go through this, I will address it immediately. I'll tell you everything that's going on.
Okay,
with
well, I
it.
was gonna just talk about this park. Shouldn't we have cameras installed there as well? Can we add that?
That's phase 2.
Okay.
It's in the packet. There's a, but you are correct, we should.
Yes.
Yep. So the current motion before us is to submit for the grant, and we had a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And the ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I will address Vice Chair Kaufman's questions about Shelley Park. And, yeah, I did research that after becoming manager. We did pass a motion and voted unanimously in 2018 for a security camera system to be put in Shelley Park. It was never done. We had to quote. So because it's 2018, Scott and I spent time last week down there with the alarm company. They have to revise the quote. But when they get it, we'll put it before you, and you will only have to adopt the additional, whatever additional costs there may be other than what we already passed. So it wasn't done, but it is on my list, and we are working on that to get the quote to get that done.
I know, I just hate to see, destruction like we had in Shelley's Park. We'd repair something, fix something, and then the kids would bust it up.
Correct, I agree.
We've been lucky, that's kind of gone by the wayside now.
Has it?
Yeah, we haven't had any trouble down there now in over a year.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, do we have anything else under the DCED? Any other comments? Workshop meeting, June 15th, 2021. I'm going to make a motion that we cancel that meeting, and I'm looking for a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. All right. Item H, part-time employee. Tony?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We currently have a part-time employee. This is not a new person. We're not hiring anybody new. Her name is Amy Geckton. The board approved last year for her to work part-time, but for some reason there was a stipulation of 16 hours a week. She's basically like a college intern, so when she has time away from school, she's doing work for us. I just wanted to also mention, it's kind of on top of what Supervisor Kirkpatrick mentioned, Ms. Gecken, she's been very helpful during periods of short staffing and continues to work to codify the permits into our new permit manager program. She's also been very instrumental in helping Laura input those hundreds of pumper reports that were not recorded by previous staff for the past 2 years, and helped to complete that DEP on-lot septic system annual report that was never filed for 2019, and then also helped with the report for 2020. That action averted the potential loss of on-lot septic system permits for Newberry Township by the DEP, which would mean if we had not done that and got caught, we wouldn't be putting any on-lot septic systems in. I'd like to have a motion to keep Ms. Gecken as part-time employee as needed without benefits.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Amy,
opposed?
Amy's done a great job.
The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to ordinance 415, non-uniform employee pension plan amendment. Does anyone have any questions on that plan amendment? And I'm gonna seek a motion to approve the ordinance 415 non-uniform employee pension plan amendment. Do I have a second?
What's it,
Did you just make a motion, or
Yes,
are
I-
you
I-
seeking?
No, I made a motion. I'm
Okay,
se-
I'll
seeking a
second
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, motion to pay the bills.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I guess I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the ayes have it. So it brings us to subdivision plan review, Lexington Estates Phase 5. Bill, you have anything you want to add to that? Okay,
I forgot they were out there.
I have to stay outside.
well, that's good.
Good evening, Tim Lot Engineering, representing the plan for this evening.
Good evening.
Also is the owner, Jim Gibson, in the crowd here this evening. This is the Lexington Estates Phase 5, 41 dwelling units, and the completion of Steeple Chase and Champions Drive. Public sewer, public water, fire protection, all outside agency approval.
Do you have my memo from April 26th in your packet?
I do.
Wrote down to mostly administrative items. There's a couple of things we need to do. I don't have any issues at this time, so.
And how long are those streets? Because I didn't have a set of plans,
1,000 feet
1,000 feet.
from thoroughbred to thoroughbred.
Is that doable? Okay. I had questions about the hydrants. That was the only thing that I was concerned about.
Whenever you guys think we understand that regulations change, but we did, I believe we looked at it, and then your guys looked at it, and I think hydrants cost you guys money, so it's like if they're in suitable locations, you probably aren't looking for any more.
So we're only looking at the most maybe 500 feet, the furthest stretch from a
Yes,
hydrant to a house?
Yes,
That-
every lot is within 500 feet of a hydrant.
Okay.
So I guess I'm seeking a motion to approve the plans regarding Lexington Estates Phase 5.
Is there there's no waivers on this, is there?
No, this is
No.
the final plan, there were
Yeah.
no waivers with the preliminary, but they don't do that.
Yeah, no, all of this was taken care of, and it's outlined here.
I will make the motion that we approve the final plan for Lexington, subject to the engineer's comments.
I'll second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to go into executive session. I appreciate you once again coming out to the meeting, and hopefully we'll see you here again next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Oh my gosh.
They get that all done.
Lights on.
I'd like to call this meeting back to order. We had a brief executive session where we discussed some personnel issues. At this time, I'm seeking a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
And do I have a second?
I'll
I'll
second
second
it.
it.
All in favor?
Aye.
This motion's adjourned. Meeting is adjourned.
I got food calling my name. Cold beer and food, I ain't sure yet.
We can throw this out. I guess Tony will set up the interviews for these people, right?